I didn't plan this. I met Adrian and I fell in love. And things changed.
In the not-so-distant future, the world is collapsing under the weight of overpopulation. In just 50 years, Earth's population has doubled, and its resources are nearly exhausted. To deal with the constant demand, scientists developed ways to quickly grow genetically modified food, but tampering with nature came at a price. Multiple pregnancies and genetic mutations became more common, and society began to fracture. A powerful public figure, Dr. Nicolette Kamen, stepped forward with a controversial solution: a strict one-child policy. Her proposal was passed into law, and checkpoints were set up everywhere to enforce it. Every citizen had to wear an identification bracelet. Any children born in violation of the law were taken away from their families and placed in cryosleep until the world's conditions could supposedly support them. Scientists claimed it was a humane practice, though in reality it tore countless families apart. In the middle of all this, a man named Terrence Settman faced an impossible situation. His daughter had died giving birth to 7 identical girls. The father of the children was nowhere to be found, leaving Terrence to raise them alone. To protect them, he named each one after a day of the week and vowed to keep their existence secret. He came up with a risky plan. The sisters would all share a single identity, Karen Settman. Each girl would be allowed outside only on the day that matched her name, while the rest stayed hidden at home. 30 years later, the system was still working. On her assigned day, Sunday passed through the identification checkpoint as Karen Settman. Posters on the streets pushed the government's message that smaller families were better for humanity. At the market, Sunday bought a rat for food. Real produce was nearly extinct. After another successful day pretending to be Karen, she returned home, erased her makeup and rejoined her sisters. That evening she shared every detail of her day so the others could stay up to speed. Each sister had her strengths, but it was Friday's intelligence and resourcefulness that helped Karen climb the ranks at work. Terrence had trained the girls for years, building a hidden room in their apartment where they could vanish in an instant if anyone came snooping. He drilled them constantly, reminding them that together they were stronger, but only if they remained one person in the eyes of the world. School had been their first real test. On her turn, Thursday had gone outside for the first time as a child, terrified by the crowds. Her grandfather had carefully modified the ID bracelet so no one suspected anything. But the system was fragile. One mistake could expose them all. When Thursday once sneaked out on her own, disaster struck. She returned missing part of her finger. Terrence made a heartbreaking decision. To keep their cover, every girl had to cut the same finger. Their lives were bound so tightly together that the actions of one became the burden of all. In the present, the sisters were weary of living in confinement. Each dreamed of her own life, but they were trapped behind the mask of Karen Settman. Thursday especially longed for freedom, still scarred by her childhood mistake. Then came the night everything started to unravel. Monday, about to earn a major promotion at work, felt unwell but pushed through. She encountered Jerry, a colleague who hinted that he knew compromising information about her. Monday realized in shock that he might have discovered the truth about her sisters. That evening she never returned home. The next day Tuesday had to take her place. Terrified, she tried to act as if nothing was wrong while her sisters monitored her through her bracelet. At work, she discovered Karen Settman had been promoted. The secretary mentioned that Karen had gone to a bar to celebrate with Jerry, where the two had fought before leaving. The sisters pieced together the truth. Jerry knew something and Monday's disappearance was tied to it. Before Tuesday could act, a black van pulled up, and agents forced her inside, disabling her bracelet so her sisters couldn't track her. She was taken to the Child Allocation Bureau, where Nicolette Kamen confronted her personally. Nicolette was astonished that the sisters had pulled off the deception for 30 years. She coldly dismissed Terrence as selfish for letting them consume resources that belonged to law-abiding citizens. Tuesday tried to deny the existence of her sisters, but it didn't matter. Orders were given: hunt them all down. Back at the apartment, the sisters' worst fears came true. Armed operatives stormed the building, killing the concierge and using Tuesday's severed eye to bypass security. The sisters hid in their secret room, but the attackers quickly discovered it. A brutal fight broke out. The sisters, trained since childhood, fought fiercely but they were outgunned. They managed to kill the squad, but Sunday was fatally wounded and died in her sister's arms. Meanwhile, Nicolette continued overseeing the bureau, convinced her mission was righteous. Her assistant Joe reassured her that the blame lay with parents who broke the law, not her policies. Still, she hesitated, though not enough to stop. She ordered Joe to eliminate Jerry, tying up a loose end. The surviving sisters identified Tuesday's eye among the wreckage, confirming she was gone. Now only 5 remained, trapped in a city blanketed with surveillance. On Wednesday's turn, the strongest of the group, she went to confront Jerry herself. The others watched through her lens. Jerry was startled when Karen appeared at his office in casual clothes. Neither of them realized the sniper was already watching him. Wednesday pressed him for answers, and Jerry revealed that he didn't actually know about the sisters. He only knew of secret payments being funneled into Nicolette Camen's account. When Wednesday pulled a taser on him, Jerry was caught off guard, but it became clear his knowledge was financial, not personal. Nicolette's corruption was deeper than they'd imagined. None of the sisters realized what was happening. Wednesday demanded that Jerry show her the contract he had uncovered, but before he could, a sniper took his life. Reacting fast, Wednesday pulled the blinds shut to block the shooter's view. Almost immediately, armed squads surrounded the building. Trapped, she had no choice but to fight her way out. When soldiers began sweeping through Jerry's apartment, one entered the bathroom. Wednesday ambushed him, killing him and taking his weapon. Since the gun was locked to his unique biocode, she severed his finger to use it. When the other soldiers burst in, she opened fire, mowing them down one after another. Reinforcements were ordered into the building, but Wednesday managed to quickly download a file that contained Camen's contract before escaping through a third-floor window. She hit the ground hard but kept moving, chased by soldiers through the streets. Friday guided her remotely, directing her where to run. The presence of child allocation officers only fueled the fury of everyday citizens, who despised them. Passers-by slowed the soldiers down, giving Wednesday more chances to slip away as she weaved through the crowd and gunfire. Meanwhile, back at the apartment, someone knocked on the sisters' door. 2 of them hid while Saturday cautiously opened it. Standing there was Adrian Knowles, an agent from the bureau, and, as Saturday quickly realized, someone personally close to Karen Settman. In fact, he was romantically involved with her. Adrian stepped inside, commenting on Karen's new style, while Saturday ducked into the hidden room to confer with her sisters. None of them knew which of them had secretly been involved with Adrian, but Saturday promised to find out. She escorted him out while Wednesday continued her desperate flight from armed men. Cornered on a rooftop, Wednesday saw no other option but to leap to the next building. As she made her daring jump, Joe fired. She clung to the ledge of the far roof, but Joe calmly walked over and finished her off. Now only 3 sisters remained. At the same time, Saturday ended up in Adrienne's apartment. There, she saw photos of him with Karen, proving that one of her sisters had been in a long-term relationship with him. Adrian kissed her, convinced she was the woman he loved, while elsewhere Friday accessed sensitive files. They discovered evidence that millions of dollars had been funneled from Karen Settman to Nicolette Camen's election campaign. The sisters were stunned. Why would one of their own betray them like that? Using Adrienne's bracelet, they hacked into the bureau's servers. Friday successfully logged in, and soon they tapped into the cryobank's surveillance feed. What they saw left them shaken. Inside one of the chambers was Karen Settman herself. Monday was alive. Adrian eventually left for work, mentioning that Camen's campaign launch was beginning. He believed the bureau was a force for good, though he privately resented that Karen only gave him 1 day a week of her time, always Monday. That revealed the truth. It was Monday who had been secretly in love with him. With that, the sisters understood she was Camen's hostage, and they resolved to rescue her. But before they could act, soldiers stormed their apartment. Saturday was killed in the raid. Thursday and Friday fled across the ledge outside their building, but at the last moment Friday turned back. She knew someone had to make sure evidence of their existence survived. She loaded the apartment with gas canisters, set the microwave timer, and began transmitting data to her sister's bracelets. Her final words were a plea to save Monday and stop Camen at all costs. Moments later, the soldiers breached the apartment, triggering a massive explosion that tore through the floor. When Thursday witnessed the blast, she collapsed in grief. Meanwhile, Adrian was informed about the explosion over his radio. Realizing the address was his lover's, he rushed there, only to be restrained by soldiers as he desperately tried to reach the body he believed was Karen's. In the chaos, Thursday ambushed him, convinced he had betrayed them. But the look on his face told her he was innocent. When she revealed that Monday was alive, hope flickered in his eyes. Together they infiltrated the bureau. Adrian disguised himself as an agent bringing in the body of one of the sisters. Inside, Thursday discovered the horrific truth. The so-called cryo chambers weren't preservation units at all. they were furnaces. The sleeping children had all been incinerated. Adrian saw it with his own eyes, horrified. When an employee unzipped the body bag, Thursday attacked, shoving her into the furnace before dispatching another who tried to intervene. Shaken to his core, Adrian now understood that Kamin's program was a monstrous crime hidden beneath a false promise. Together, he and Thursday stumbled across a survivor, not Monday but Tuesday. Meanwhile, Monday, alive and well, met with Nicolette Kamin. To the sister's devastation, it became clear she had been cooperating with Kamin all along. Monday was willing to sacrifice her family for her own future. She was determined to be the only Karen Settman. Thursday disguised herself as Karen using Tuesday's clothes and infiltrated Kamin's campaign gala. Tuesday and Adrian staged a hostage situation to neutralize guards and access the system. As Kamin gave her speech, celebrating the success of her child allocation program, the sisters prepared their final move. Thursday confronted Monday face to face. Monday drew a gun, insisting that when she met Adrian she finally found love and saw her chance at a real life. In her mind, only one Karen Settman could exist. The sisters fought brutally, their struggle mirrored by Adrian clashing with Kamin's operatives. At the same time, Tuesday gained access to the live broadcast. She streamed the horrifying truth of the cryobank to the entire world. Citizens watched in horror as the reality of Kamin's program was exposed. The children were never sleeping, burned alive. Kamin collapsed, muttering weakly that they didn't suffer. On stage, Karen Settman revealed herself to be Tuesday, ripping off her wig. Just then, Monday staggered in, wounded but still armed. Before she could fire, Joe turned on her, but Adrian gunned him down. In her final moments, Monday remembered the day their grandfather cried, the day he forced them all to cut their fingers, desperate to protect them. She begged Tuesday to promise that her unborn children would be safe. Then she died in Adrienne's arms. The scandal triggered mass protests and strikes, forcing the government to repeal the one-child law. Nicolette Kamin was arrested and placed on trial. Monday's unborn babies were saved and placed into an artificial womb. Tuesday survived, her eye restored, and chose a new identity, Terry. Thursday, carrying the legacy of them all, took on their shared name, Karen Settman. In the end, their sister's sacrifice ensured that her children, and the truth, would survive. Thanks for watching. Make sure to watch the full movie. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of the exciting content coming your way. Every new video is made with you in mind, and I'd love to have you here for the journey. See you in the next one.